Okie doke. Dude, I really like rocking in this chair. I'm never able to do this. I never rock. I mean, at work, I've always had the chair locked forward, and I wasn't even using this chair. I was using a different one that didn't even really recline well at all. But this one, I like just having it not all the way down. This is just too much. But we do there. That's too low. That I can't even do. That is too low. Oh, that's too high. What about one higher? Nope. We can max it out. Oh my. Okay. That's too high as well. Nope. Dude. Okay. There it is. Fuck. I lost it. Too high. There it is. Just feels nice having a little bit of resistance at the end that I can bounce against. I don't know, this is just fucking... What am I even saying? Okay, back to learning. Explicit namespace qualifier. Okay. That's when we're explicitly saying, yo, this is the scope in which this guy, or this is the namespace rather, or the scope region, that this guy is defined / declared within. Saying he's declared within that. Okay, if we're saying he's declared within that, then I guess we could technically define him somewhere else maybe? And then do a forward declaration there too? But then why would we declare it? I don't know, I'm just thinking a little bit. Okay. Safest way, yeah, because there's no ambiguity. Cool. Use explicit namespace prefixes. Like, isn't it standard vector or something like that? Use explicit name, cool. When an identifier uses a namespace prefix, the identifier is called a qualified name. So when an identifier uses a namespace prefix, it's called... Okay, so it's namespace prefix, scope resolution operator, qualified name. And the scope resolution operator, what does that mean? I mean, I guess we're just resolving the scope. We're just saying, yo, the scope in which this guy lives is... So identifier, the scope in which he lives, scope resolution operator, is namespace name. Using standard, why to avoid it? Yeah, because it probably creates the freaking ambiguity, right? Using directive. Ah, okay, so it's a directive. So there are preprocessor directives where we're including so that we can use that functionality. But then there's just a directive, which is not pre-processed. It's processed at some point. So there's code that's executing, and then here we start using it, and then here maybe we stop using it. Maybe. I don't know when we would want to do it, but we'll see. Because I've done it before. When I was learning C++ before, I spent like a week-ish just doing a at work we get LinkedIn Learn for free. Just this LinkedIn, such a shitty website, so terrible. All the people on there are just crap. We get free access to whatever, any course basically. It was cool. We basically started learning classes like Insta. And we were doing using namespace. So, but I mean, I didn't get anything out of it really. I just know tiny bit of the syntax. Another way to access the identifiers is to use a using directive statement. Okay. Use original hello world using, so instead of saying, why did it start doing that? There it is. Sometimes the chair will do like, there's like a little give that it has in the middle. Why is this red? Why is this light red right here? kind of curious. Why is this shadow red? Oh, is it really because the monitor's that red? Okay, where did that go? Oh, good. How do I even get that back? Isn't it down here? Aren't I seeing it? I'm pretty sure it's under the taskbar. Right? Do I just have to kill it? Oh god, I don't want to do that. Fuck. This hasn't happened. Oh, come on, dude. It is. It's right down there. I want that. No, we're not doing VR right now, yo. Wait. No, bro. I don't need NVIDIA. Oh, I just want to grab that. How is it down there? Oh, fuck. Bro, I just want this tab, and it's... do I just move the taskbar? Can I move it? Or just kill it all? Oh! That did it! Fuck yeah. Nice. Wow, it's actually that red that the shadow's red. It seems like regular white to me, but okay, I'm just tripping. Okay, so there's a using directives. Instead of doing standard C out, whatever, we just say C out. Man, it's already been 40 minutes? What the fuck? Yeah, but there's probably going to be a confliction if we use our conflict. A confliction. There'll be a confliction if I'm already using C out as a variable. We do int C out initialize with 5. There's going to be a conflict. Should be. Yup. Noted. Yeah, exactly. See? See? Fucking C out function, bro. Who'da fucking thought, mate? Who'da fucking thought? Compile error because it don't know which we want. The namespace or the one we already defined as a function, man. It don't know. A using directive as opposed to a preprocessor directive. Any identifier we use can conflict with any named identifier that's identical within the namespace that we're using the using of. Within the namespace we're using the using directive for. What? Oh, hell no. Good. Let's go, dude. Random thought. It's a really solid webtoon. God, I haven't read manga or anime or webtoons in a while. Yeah, it makes sense because we're doing the using now, using namespace standard, and there isn't something in standard named super, But then later on we use super as something else. Maybe I have a function and I want to supersize it. Give it that American bump. Nope. Conflict now. Because the language updated or whatever. Oh, there we go. Had to pop my hips by pressing my knees together. Yeah, exactly, right? Avoid conflicts, that's the whole point. Avoid using at the top. They violate the reason why they're added in the first place. You want to do them... Is there a way to undo them then? Because otherwise then you have to like order your program so that you can use it later. And then I still don't know when you would do using instead of just... Because it's kind of ambiguous, because then you don't know when you're using it or not. And you don't know from where you're using it. Because you have using here, like, here's a start your program way down here. Using something, and then we use it a bunch. But then I have to go back up to make sure that I'm using, I don't know, it just adds ambiguity. Or uncertainty, rather. Using directives, okay, but using declaration. Interesting, don't know what that is yet. Using declarations. Don't know. Curly braces and then a code. Curly braces used to delineate scope region. Yep, makes sense. That is nested within another scope region. Okay, because we use them in addition. Yeah, because we use it to denote the scope region within a function. But then if we do another, so it's a child scope region basically. Or nested scope region, I guess you'd say. Child probably isn't the most accurate word. Oh yeah, true. List initialization. Yeah. Isn't it called direct list initialization technically? Yeah, that makes sense, because outside of the function, if we have main, and then after main, something's happening. Oh yeah, for example, defining a function. We're defining the function within the global namespace. Same as we would if we were defining it before the function in the global namespace. I need to get to mewing, man. Really? Oh. Yeah, that makes sense, because those variables are technically, it says they're created on the line in which the function is defined, on its header line. Yet they're usable and get destroyed at the end of the function. But that's a special case, because it always says that the lifetime of a local variable is from its definition / creation to the nearest ending brace from its creation, or for function parameters, the end of the function. And that's probably because the scope region starts with that header line, not actually the first brace. Maybe that's my interpretation. Good example of this. Cool. So in main, we've got a function doing something to 5. So we pass him the value of 5. Int is copy initialize the value of 5, or copy assign the value of 5. Well, I guess it's copy initialization in this case, technically. It doesn't return shit. What does it do? Foo is defined in the local scope. Yes. But X is defined within the scope of foo. Makes sense. Braces delineate the nested scope region. Yep. Yep. And then we output the value that was placed in there, so it's a print function basically, and then it goes out of scope. So it's defined technically 2 lines before we would expect it to actually be created. But it's different. It's not, it's because it's a parameter. And then afterwards we have integer x, which is different because it's in a different scope region than x within function foo. We direct list initialize that motherfucker as 6 en español. Okay, and it is indeed within the nested scope of main, because it's scope that is within main, which is within global namespace. X goes out of scope at the first ending brace, in which it goes out of scope on the ending brace. On the brace that ends the scope, it is created within. So variable is created within a scope. When the scope ends, it's gone, yo. It's gone. We don't even know conditionals yet. That's crazy. Same shit there. You have an if statement, another freaking thing of brackets in there for another scope region. Boom. Wow, this is really cool. I never understood things to this detail before. I'm so glad I got back to reading things, man, because I was just locked in the whole watching people do things and learning on my own and following and whatnot. Not tutorial hell, but just not sitting and reading things. I always wanted to find a way of doing it where I'm as if someone showing and talking about something is more concise than just reading it. It's way more concise to just read something. Like, I read this and it tells me this. I can look at an example, but if I watch the example and even if I do it, I mean, I guess it'll stick, but it seems like it's still not as fast. Like, I can read this and I don't have to, like, cause what? You can read faster than people can talk, I think. Fuck, I don't know. I think you can hear people fast. Can't you understand audio faster than you can read it? Imports the declaration of something, 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 compared to somebody saying, imports the declaration of something, something. I can probably hear faster or understand audio better than visual. But everything is just literal and concise here. So it's probably more efficient. Yeah, because the file ends, so foo and main, which are both scopes within the global scope. Thought I saw some shit. These glasses are just weird on the corners. Code that exists in a nested scope region is indented one level for readability and to indicate that it's in a separate scope region. Makes sense? Cool. The include and functions are within global. Makes sense? They're not indented. Yep. Statements inside each nested scope is cool. Or are. Up. The preprocessor. I'm gonna take a guess and say this chapter goes to either 13 or 16. Man, I'm fucking good. File compiles each code file exactly as you've written it. That is not the case. Okay, so the preprocessor does some shit. That's basically what I'm hearing. And it does it before the files actually run. Oh, it's actually before compiling the file. Compilation. Compilation. I mean, compilation, I guess. I don't like that, but whatever. I watch a compilation. The process of compilation. Separate program, but now it's built in. Maybe. Okay. Oh shit, this is gonna hit. Oh shit! Oh! Is this loading? Is it still checking? What is it doing? Okay, it's good. Shit. Nice. Dude, calm trues. Fantastic. These songs are just good. Just straight up. I'm saving this one. This one's fantastic. ComTrue's best track. Okay. So now it's within the IDE, well, or the compiler, but which is within the IDE. Most of what it does uninteresting. It strips out comments. Oh, so commenting 100% doesn't affect the processing. Okay, fuck it, dude. Didn't know that. I thought that I was gonna look it up at some point, but I forgot. I was gonna see if comments would weigh it down at all. That's pretty fucking sick. I didn't know if it would affect file size, but I guess not. It might affect file size, but it's negligible. And yeah, I mean, it gets stripped out before compiling, so why not? Okay. Ends each in a new line, so the backslash end. Does have an important role. It is what process. Well, yeah. Why is it an important rule? How is it a rule? It's role. Man, I'm fucking retarded. Has an important role. It processes the include directives. When the preprocessor has finished processing a code file, the result is called a translation unit, which is then compiled. So you translate them just like you're translating DNA from something to something, a different language to a different language. Translating from the source code into pre-compile source code. Make sense? Entire process. So it's creating a translation unit. And the entire process of pre-processing, compiling, and then linking is called translating. So it's the process by which we translate source code to machine code. Translation phases? Oh, fuck off, bro. I don't care about that right now. Pre-processing is phases 1 through 4. So comments are removed. The functionality in the include is included. And maybe some other shit. And then compilation, actually converting the shit, checking the validity of the file, something else too. Preprocessor directives. When the preprocessor runs, it scans through the code file from top to bottom, looking for the preprocessor directive. Okay, so you don't have to include them at the beginning then, huh? Preprocessor directive, often called directive. Instruction start with hashtag symbol. End with a new line. Okay. Makes sense because I type in hashtag include and then I end the line, which means that there is, not only does it start a new line, there's an end line character there that I can't delete. Or I guess I just can't do anything on the same line. So the space itself is the new line character. It's just converted so that I can see it instead of it being /n. Start with hashtag, end with a new line. They tell it to perform certain text manipulation tasks. It does not understand C++ syntax. Instead, they have their own, which in some cases resembles it, in other cases not so much. That makes sense because it looks like a template. I'm pretty sure it has the less than and greater than operators, not the extraction and insertion, but less than and greater operators. The final output of the preprocessor. It sounds like a French word for just a food, any food, like a fish. Oh, it sounds like Japanese. Wait a minute. Arigato. Final output of the preprocessor contains no directives. Oh, okay, so it just removes it. Only the output of the process directive is passed to the compiler. So with the stuff that it's using, basically, so we do include input output stream, and then it brings whatever the fuck it's actually going to use into the file for or into translation. Or rather, yeah, to be translated as a translation unit. Then the translation finishes. Using directives are not preprocessor directives and are not processed by the preprocessor. So while the term directive usually means preprocessor, it is not always the case. You've already seen, oh, I don't know define, that's interesting. You've already seen the include directive in action. Include file. Yep. Replaces it with the contents, which are preprocessed, which may include, or may result in additional includes being preprocessed recursively. So basically it does it, and then, oh, that one has some, does it. Oh, that one has some includes, does it. Oh, another preprocessor directive, process it, boom. And the rest of the file. Okay, consider this, include IOStream. It's probably going to say something about IOStream. Okay. When the preprocessor runs, it will replace it with the contents of IOStream, input output stream, and then preprocess the included content and the rest of the file. Okay. Almost exclusively used for header files. We'll discuss it in more detail in the next lesson. We discuss the header files. Hey, where are we going to discuss the header files, man? Key insight. Translación unit typically consists of a single code zip.cpp file and header. That's a cool word. Header. Each translation unit is a single file, and all the header files, all that info in that shit. Okay. All right, let's get this song going again because it was really nice. Well, actually, I'm gonna find another. Let's do Abe.
You're saying two things at the same time, which
Just...
seem not to go.
Nope. Nah, well, let's try it. Let's just keep trying. Find new. Okay. So the translation unit, yep, it has been pre-processed. That's what's happens. You take the source code, you make a translation unit by doing the pre-processing. Okay. Macro defines. The define directive can be used to create a macro. A macro is a rule that defines how input text is converted into replacement output text. Oh. Object-like and function-like. Function-like macros act like functions and serve a similar purpose. Generally unsafe and you just use a function. Okay. Object-like. Okay. Can be defined in one of two ways. Like that or like that. Top has no substitution, what the bottom does. They are preprocessor directives, not statements. Note that either ends in a semicolon, makes sense, not a statement. The identifier for a macro uses the same naming rule as normal identifiers. Letters, numbers, can't start with a number, yep. And should not start with an underscore, because that's the shit that's already in the standard template library. By convention, macro names are typically all uppercase. Separated by underscores. Okay, next.